We're only busy with 352. 352 says, James feels that there has been a lack of control over the amount spent on delivery expenses and packing material. Both of these. Remember, and I want to write this down for you. Budgets is about linking. Okay, so let's just quickly write down what links. So, what always links with sales would be delivery to clients. Delivery. Am I spelling it right? Yes. Very. Delivery. Packing material. Advertising, marketing. All of that usually goes with sales. With current income or fee income. Ne? In other words, we are delivering a service. We'll always go with service material or consumables or service material. When I have a fixed asset, it will always go with maintenance. Maintenance. I don't know how to spell maintenance.
Just write it.
Whatever. Maintain. Nonce. Maintenance. Is that right?
No,
That should be an E. Okay. Goes with maintenance. It will go with usually interest on loan because you have to make a loan to buy it. It will go with, depending if it's a car, it will go with fuel. If it's a computer, it will go with software updates. If it's land or buildings, it will go with property tax. Okay, so just be sure that you know the links. So here we go. James feels that there has been a lack of control over the amount spent on delivery and packing. Explain whether he's correct or not. So, you should be worried. Let's first go look at delivery. Now, if I look at the delivery, can you see the delivery increased? So now he's worried because it looks like if I only look at this and I look at this not in the context, if I look at this out of context, it looks like there wasn't a good control over the expense. Right? You see that? Okay. But now, what do I want to see? My sales also increased. So did the delivery increase in the same proportion as the sales? So how will I do that? I said to you, what you always do if you want to work out a percentage, you take that which you want to comment on top of what it's linked with, times 100. So if I look at delivery, I can say 35,046 over sales times 100, and I'm going to say 42,896 over 831,546. Okay, so what percentage of sales was delivery budgeted? Anybody? Okay, here we go. So, now, what is this percentage? 6%. And this one?
5.
So, does he, Emmanuel, does he need to be worried? You say yes. You say no, why? I wish I had something to throw you. But I know if I throw you, I'm going to hit Charity there in the back. Talk.
You shouldn't be worried because there's a slight increase in the delivery cost.
There isn't an increase. Look at this. So in rand value, we spend more than we budget. But if I go look at the percentage, here I budgeted that 6% of the sales will go to delivery. But actually only 5% went. Because remember, my sales increased, so I had more deliveries. But in proportion, my expense actually decreased, even though it looks like it increased. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? So in other words, they budgeted, let's work on 100. Okay? They worked on, let's say, we had 100 rand sales, and we say 10% of that is delivery. Okay? But now what actually happened is we sold 300 and we had 24, and it went up, let's say we had 375, but now it's 37.5, it's 50 rand. But can you see it's still 10%? The rand is up, but the percentage went down. Must I say it again? So, if I look, I budgeted, let's say I budget 10%. I budget 10% of the sales for delivery. So I budget my sales is going to be 100, meaning my delivery is going to be 10. But then in the end, my sales is 375. So if it's still 10%, it's 37.5. But can you see, yes, it increased in rand, but it's still 10%, 10%. In proportion, it's exactly the same. You see that? But what actually happened with this one, especially, is that we budgeted 6% of the sales going to delivery, but only 5% went in the end. It's a really good thing, even though it increased in proportion, in a percentage, it actually decreased.
Why do we use sales? Oh, wait.
Because it's delivery.
Can't we use the number of units sold?
You can use the number of units sold as well. I'm quite sure about that. What did you do? You said that 35 divided 70, 80. Okay, so what Moshi did is she said, okay, we budgeted 70, 80. We paid 35046. So how much did they pay per item for delivery? That's what you did.
Is 4.95.
So that's per item. And then if I look at those items, the 11,470, and you divide it.
Actually, just multiply the 4.75 with the 11.
Okay, don't do that math thing with me. If you do the 42,896 and you divide it by that unit, you get how much per unit? 3.75. Can you see per unit my delivery is also less?
But why did you use the variance? Why don't you use the actual?
Why do you want to use the variance?
No, use the variance.
I didn't. Wait.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you are bad. Okay, is everybody shocked? Even those who are talking? Shocked. Okay, so now what did I say? Don't just say, oh, yeah, no, I understand. Go write it in words. So now let's write this in words. It's 8 marks, meaning it's 4-4. And that's quite a lot of marks in accounting. So it means you have to give me full sentences. Okay? So you're going to say, they budgeted, and now it depends on if you use Moshe Piadi's with the units, or if you use mine with the percentages. But the sentence is going to say, that, I write like very ugly. You say, they budgeted R4.95 per item, but actually spent 375 per unit or item. If you used mine, you would say they budgeted 5% or 6% of sales, but they actually only spent 5% of sales. Yeah. You will definitely get 4 marks. 2 marks would be for linking the sales and the delivery. So even though she used the items, it's still the sale items. So she linked that with the delivery. Everybody fine? Okay, next one. Let's look at the packing material. If I look at the packing material, I'm also going to look. Can you see it also increased? And packing material, you're also going to link with sales. Why would I link packing material with sales? What is packing material? It's the boxes in which you put the products. It's not the Rice Krispie box. It's the box where you put the boxes of Rice Krispies. Okay, that's your packing material. So if people buy from you and you deliver it, you put it into packing material to be able to deliver it. If you order on Shein or Temu or Takealot, it comes in a little box with sellotape. That's packing material. And inside you open it up, then you take your box of makeup out. That's not packing material, that's the product. Okay, but can you see the packing material actually goes with the delivery? Because you're going to deliver in packing material. But let's do it with the sales. So we're going to do the same thing. They're testing the same thing. But I'm quite sure this time your answer is going to be different. This time you overspent. Let me show you. So if I take that 23,364. By the way, can you see how someone do it here? Because they're not going to mark calculations here. Okay.
How do you know it's going to be more? How are you sure that's going to be more?
Because they're going to give you marks for either this and this, or this and this.
No, I'm talking about how do you know that the packing material percentage is more?
Because they won't ask the same thing twice. And that one is already no, even though it's more, it's actually less. So this one is going to be, even though it's more, it is actually more. So, but let's see, maybe I'm wrong. So you're going to put the 23 over the sales, the 584, and you're going to put the 37. Can you see it has to increase in proportion to how much your sales increased? That's basically what it's about. And you can also do exactly what she did, the per units. It's the same thing. So what is this percentage? 4%, and this one? 4.5. Okay? So can you see it's actually an increase? If I do it per unit, I'm going to say the 23 divided 70, 80. The 37 divided 11 for 70. What does it give you per item? Yes. No. It's a bad thing because the packing material didn't increase in the same proportion as the sales. It increased more. That's most why I calculated the percentage. Yeah. What do you get the units?
3,33.
Say again.
3,33.
333 and
3,29.
no. Can't be less. can't, because this,
No, the units.
yeah, but this goes with this.
Also got this.
Did you also get 329?
Yeah, that's what I was. I kind of did on Friday, but then I didn't was.
Now it's very close. Let's see what they said. Let me just pause this. Okay, so let's just look what the memo says. If I look here for the delivery expense, why do they get so much more percentage than I do? They say the delivery costs were well maintained. Service provider was able to operate more efficiently in spite of increased sales. Delivery expense is 22% more than budgeted, but units sold is 62% more. Okay. Can you see the first one? What they did is they literally went and compared the variance. Ne? Now remember, if you do the variance thing, it's the change over the original, and the original here is the budget. Ne? So that's what they did here. But then look at number 2. Number 2 is the delivery cost per unit is 374 compared to the 495 budgeted. That was the one Moshipi already did. And another box says budgeted for 6% of sales, actual 5.2. That's the one I did. Okay. Can you see what they say here? 3 mark option. So in other words, that's 4 marks. Can you see you get 2 marks for the 2 figures and 2 marks if you linked sales and delivery. So that's actually 3 marks. 3 marks if you just say the delivery expense was over budget so much. There's 1 mark. 3 marks if you say the delivery is over budget and the sales is more than budget. Then you only get 3. Why? Because you didn't compare. Okay, but now that's not our big problem. Our big problem is the packing material. So budgeted is 4%. And the actual was 4.6%. So you guys calculated like your butt. Didn't you round off? You got 4% and you got 4.95%. So let's just go back. If I say, and you know, I want all of you to be involved. All of you. You take the 23,364 divided the 584 100 as a percentage, and it gives you 4%. You take the 37,850 divided the 831,546, and that gives you 4.55, not 95. Did I hear wrong? 5.55. Okay.
Then you wrote it.
No, I didn't. I wrote 95.
Under the,
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
yes.
Oh my word. Okay. Okay, 0.5. Okay, and that's how they get 4.6 because it's 455.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on. Unit cost of packing was maintained at 330. What did we get? We got 333.
No, you got 3. You just said another 3, so you wrote the 3.
Okay, so in other words, we did get 330.
Yes.
And here the 329, does it round off to 3? Because 330 is most 29. So if you round it off, it's 30. Okay, so in other words, what they're saying here is it stayed constant. Ne? It stayed constant, even though it increased in proportion to sales. It was constant. It was in line with that increase. So
Then how does it run up to 12 anyway?
yeah, the 29 rounds off to 3, and 30 is most 30. Okay, the other one is they took the variance, So the packing material is 62% more than budgeted, and the sales is also 62% more than budgeted. Okay, so in proportion, they increased the same. Well, now everybody can see your prelim. I can switch off.